Well, I've waited long enough. I've got all these toys. I've been dying to open them up. I even have more behind me. And I have a couple here that they were Christmas gifts from family members far away. And we usually do an online gift exchange. And there has been circumstances over the holidays that has kept us from being able to do it. By the way, the dollar store Marvel retro figures, that is part of this time period, but I've opened those up separately because there were so many of them. And don't even get me started with this box of goodies. This will be a later video, but I haven't even gotten into this yet. So stay tuned and let's get into this. Before we get into these figures, I want to do something about the glasses for Buzzer here. I myself, and I know a lot of other people, have been dissatisfied with this figure, mainly because his glasses don't fit his face. I'm going to show you a 30-second fix on how to do that, and if you don't have the same tool that I have here, then you could use boiling water or maybe even a lighter. So I'm going to be using some pliers. These don't have any teeth on it, so it won't hurt the plastic when it's warm. And I'm also going to be using this heat gun. I think I got this at the store years ago for doing electrical work. It's good for doing heat shrink and stuff like that. So I thought maybe I would try it on this plastic and see if we can fix these glasses and make them fit his head a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this heat gun going. Now this has two settings. It's got hot and then really hot, and well, I don't want to use the really hot, and I also don't want to burn my hands, so I'm going to be using some tweezers here. So it always seems to be the one on the left, I think, that is too short, so I'm going to see if I can heat that up and lengthen it. And there you go. It fits on his head much better. It goes behind his ear where it should fit, and it actually stays on his head much better, and it doesn't look all wonky on his face. So that's much better. That's all you got to do. Give it a little bit of heat, and just be careful you don't give it too much heat, but you just let that cool while you hold it into place, and it's much better. So for the most part, I've taken all of these out of the cards, and I really like this figure. This is the Book of Boba Fett figure that I have, the Tusken Warrior, and this is a great update to this vintage style looking figure. There's not much on the card, and I really hate those retro stickers, and I tried taking it off of this card here, and it took forever, and it started to take the paint off the card. But look how much better that looks without that retro sticker. I don't understand why they're doing that, and I don't understand why they can't use stickers that peel off really easily. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, those are cool. Here's the Marok one. Hard to even see him with that sticker. Here's General Harrison Dula. I'm not really a fan of this actress playing this character in the show. I'm watching this right now. I'm almost to the end of the first series, And I don't know, just there's something about that character that, or the actress, or how she's doing her lines, or how she's acting the character. It just, I'm not really a fan, but I am a fan of this Tusken Raider figure. He is really cool. It's a great update to the vintage one. He's got the same kind of staff here. I can't remember what this is called. Somebody will probably be able to tell me. I love the soft goods cape and the change in the color with the actual plastic underneath the cape. Just looks so good, and the detail on his mask here, on his face here, just, it looks retro, but it's all the updates that you want to see on a new figure, and I just think it's cool. I would like to see, I know these are supposed to be retro Kenner figures, but I do think that they would really do well if they had wrist articulation, because I really wish I could like have his wrists in a different position. And it goes the same as this guy here. I really wish I could have his wrist in the other direction so that his lightsaber is sideways instead of up and down. But check this guy out. He looks really good. He's got the soft goods cape. Really like that vintage style fabric that they're using. And this guy just looks like a knight, but in that Star Wars design. So really cool. Another one of my favorites is the HK-87. This is a assassin droid, and he is really, really cool. Really happy to get him. This is from Ahsoka series, and so is Morak, and of course we have General Hera here. Now she's really cool. I do like the figure. She looks nice. I like the paint. Her face sculpt is really, really nice. And a lot of these figures have been coming with these holsters, and I found a way to use it. I don't know if anybody else is doing it that way or if that's what it's supposed to be for. It doesn't look great, but it's a way to hold it if you don't want her to hold her weapon and you want her to be a driver, because she is a pilot. So if she's piloting something, if they come up with something that she can pilot, then that's a great way to keep her weapon from getting lost while she's sitting in the pilot seat. And of course, we have Chopper here. He's really cool. He's got that extra wheel on the bottom and articulated arms, and he does have that retro style click in his head joint, and that is really neat. He's got that decal there that you would expect to see on a vintage style retro figure, and I think he looks really, really good. And of course, I had to pick up the classified figures. I had ordered these on Amazon, and this guy is really cool. I like his case. I'm not really sure what that hole in his case is for. Is that to put a gun in? I couldn't figure out why there was a hole in that case. Maybe to fit the backpack in? I'm not really sure. I mean, it does fit on his back because there's a peg there that would fit on his back like the backpack. I'm not really sure why that hole is there, but the cool thing is it does open up. Let me open it up and see. I'll show you what's inside. And inside he has his gun that you can put together. I think the vintage figure, if I can remember, had a gun that had a bipod. So now he has a case for that. He also has goggles, but this time, unlike Buzzer, he has goggles that go all around his head. So they do fit on his head and stay on his head very well. I'm going to be leaving this gun like this in here. That's fine the way it is. I like it like that. He's got his Uzi here, and he looks really good. I'm really happy I got this figure. I finally got Stalker. Now, there's a story behind this. I love this figure. I had him as a kid in 1983, I believe I got him. I don't think I had the straight arm version. I think I had the swivel arm battle grip, and I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just the artwork on the box that just threw me off of this figure. The artwork is really bad, and I don't know, I just never picked him up. But I finally got him after a year and a half of him being released. Of course, he had the windowed type of box, and I'm really glad I got him. I got him for like $25 Canadian, which is $10 less than you can usually get any of these classified figures. And I'm glad I held off, but I'm also really happy to pick him up. I just really like his camo, and I love the character. He's got his removable beret. He's got his gun that similar to the one that he had in the vintage figure, but he has all kinds of other stuff too going on. We've got a removable pistol here. We've got a radio. We have uh, a knife there, and then he's got another machine gun that you can put on his back. So, really cool figure, and I'm really happy to get him. His face sculpt is pretty good. I think he looks like Stalker, and he looks badass. So that's really cool. I will say that I really do like, even though he is camouflage, I like the fact that they painted the accessories on his straps a different green. I think it just makes those kind of stand out. They're supposed to be green, but the fact that they put a different shade green makes those stand out, which is, well, I think important to see all of the details of these figures. Now, of course, we do have Buzzer here. He is really cool. I mean, I've already shown him because we were fixing the glasses, and I do like his details. And when I was a kid, this accessory I thought was really cool, and I used this a lot. So he does have other accessories. I'm not going to go through the other accessories. I'm not going to put those with him. I'm just going to keep him with his saw because he is Buzzer, and this accessory is cool. The only thing that I don't like about that figure, other than the glasses not staying on his head, is the fact that you can't put the rest of his accessories on his body. There's no place to store them. You have to have the Python Crimson Guard if you're carrying the Python Patrol figures, and he's really cool. He's got another gun here. I think this is the one that he comes with the vintage figure. And I'm really happy that he did come with a sword because, well, he is an officer. So I think it's cool that he came with that. I like the colors. He is just a repaint of the ones that we've gotten already. But of course, he's got those extra accessories with that color. Now, that yellow, those yellow arms, I would be careful. I tried articulating those, and that yellow plastic seems to be really fragile. So I could see that yellow breaking. It seems like it's a brittle plastic. I don't know why. And I'm all for Hasbro bringing out new G.I. Joe characters. I think she was in a comic. She was a comic character, but we've never really had a figure. I don't believe in the vintage line, and now we have her in the classified line. I'm happy that they added a female character to the roster. She's got those swords again. She's got a knife. She's got all kinds of accessories, holsters. She's got double holsters. And so I've given her the double pistols in her hand. Now she also has these weird arm blades that do articulate. They do move like that. And I've decided to keep them off of her. I'm not happy with having them on there. I guess we could put them in her holster and then she could at least have them in there. Nope, there's no holes on the bottom of a holster. So if she had holes there, you could fit them in there, but she doesn't. So you pretty much either have to have her wear them or not put them on her at all. And also wanted to show that she does have that band-aid on her wrist, on her left wrist, and I think that is a really cool detail. The next figure I want to take a look at is Shockwave here, and I do have to say that I think Shockwave and Lowlight have got to be my two favorite figures sitting on this table here today. Although I do like the Retro Tusken Raider, I really think that these figures outshine the rest. They just look great. He's got the removable hat, which looks really good, and the hat does click on there really good. It slips right on his head. And I like his baton. He's got the two guns. He's got the knife here in the sheath. And of course, they gave him the shield. And I'm wondering if these parts of the shield here, are they glow in the dark? Do they glow? I'm not going to check it out. I'll probably look it later, but I just wanted to know if anybody in the comments can tell me if those are glow in the dark. He's also got another knife here. He's got so much detail. He's got the vest, which he should have, and he's got that pixelated camo. I think that's what it's called, is the pixel camo. So he's really cool, and he will look great in the collection, of course. One thing about Lowlight that I did want to mention, I forgot to mention this, was that on the box, you can see he's got a computer there, but he didn't come with one. It's weird how he didn't come with that laptop, and that's pretty interesting how they didn't do that. I also wanted to show you here that there are some, I think those are snake figures, the snakelings or something, snake soldiers. We got some of those in the Super 7 reaction figures, and I'm wondering if they're going to come out in the classified. And I do want to mention that packaging wise, I'm really happy they've stuck with the boxed versions of these figures. I think they've done well. We were all afraid that we were going to get the figures and they weren't going to be what they were supposed to be, or what we saw on the box. And I think they've done that a few times and then learned that we weren't going to put up with that. And I think they've managed to make it really look good on the box and make us want to buy them. And pretty much what's been inside is as good as what's on the front of the box. I think it looks really good. I'm happy that we don't have this anymore. And not only that, I like what they did with the top front, where they put the accessories up here, and they've lost that ranks thing. I mean, they still do it. The ranks are down here. You can hardly see what the ranks are now, because to most of us they don't make any sense, even though I've looked it up, and there is a website out there that explains what the ranks mean. But they still put them in there for some reason. Maybe if you hit this code, it might actually tell you what those ranks mean. And then at the dollar store, they had a bunch of Masters of the Universe. I'll show a video here. They've got a bunch of stuff. They had Masters of the Universe, Origins, which I haven't seen in the Dollaramas yet here in Canada. So now they have the Masters of the Universe in Dollarama. Now a lot of this stuff is still in our Toys R Us, and they're all peg warmers. But to get them at the Dollarama for $5, I say what the heck. Now the reason why I got this guy is because I was hoping his mask would fit on the vintage figure, and I already have this guy already, so I just bought it for the mask. And unfortunately, it doesn't fit on the vintage figure unless you alter it. So I guess I've got two Buzz-Offs now, which is fine with me because I think he's a really cool figure. And then they have the Power Attack Mosquitra. Now, I'm not a fan of these figures. I haven't been buying them, but I don't think they've made this figure in any other line. She's okay. I just think she's really cool. She's got the translucent wings, not a lot of articulation, pretty much a 5 POA. She does have some articulation here, and there's a reason for that. That is a play feature. What you do is you take this thing here and you put it over her head, and then you pull her back, and she's supposed to shoot that just at somebody, and there you go. So that's her play feature. Probably will never use that, but I think that for $5 she is a nice addition to the collection. And you know what? She does have a interesting look to her, and she does stand 6 inches like the Origins figures. So I thought, because she's in that scale, why not get her and put her in with the Origins? She fits right in with them. So the last thing I want to show, and the reason why I kept these in the packaging, because I think it is really, really cool that these came out. I didn't even know these were out until I went to my GameStop, is the Fright Features real Ghostbusters figures. They had all 4, but I just got Winston and I got Egon. And I didn't have a Fright Features Winston at all. I do have his accessory here, his green thing, but I didn't have him. So I just wanted to show them on card and show you what they look like, because they look like they came off of the shelves in the late 80s. They look really good. There's the other 2 figures that you could get, Ray Stantz and the Peter Venkman. Now, I have Ray Stantz and Peter Venkman, but I don't have all of their accessories, so I may still pick those up. And for $20, you can't go wrong. $19.99 is what I paid for these, I believe. Yes, $19.99 or $17.99 if you have the Platinum card. That is in Canadian money. Let's open these up and see what they look like. So first of all, here's Winston here. I'm not really sure how he's supposed to hold this. I've never owned this figure before, even the vintage one, and he doesn't really hold it. I think that's how it's supposed to go, like that, because this is like a bucket. Or is it supposed to go like this? Let's see if that works better. Maybe it's supposed to work like that. He's got a laser gun and a bucket to get the ghost. And then just like the old one, you can push this, and his play feature, he's frightened of the ghost. If you have the arm like this, it doesn't go all the way around. You have to put it out in front. And if you've owned this before, then this is nothing new for you. But I just think it's really cool. And now I have a Winston, and he's complete, and he looks really good. I wonder if that plastic is going to give us that black moldy stuff like the vintage ones have. My Egon, unfortunately, I've had like 5 Egons, and only one of them has the tie. And the one that does have the tie has that black spotty mold on them. So I wonder if this plastic is going to do the same thing. I hope not. But anyway, we got this play feature here, just like the vintage one. The plastic does feel different. It's not as rubbery as the vintage ones. So that's really cool. I love these, and I'm glad I got them. There he is with his gun, and here is his little ghost that he comes with. Really cool. Now let's get Ripper here beside Buzzer, and I think that's exactly where he belongs. I hope to get the rest of these Dreadnoughts. I think they look amazing together. This is a great time in a collector's life who collects this kind of stuff. You can have any vintage thing that you want, even though vintage right now is so expensive. I mean, new stuff is not that cheap either, but vintage stuff, some of the really holy grail stuff, it's just so expensive. Being able to get this stuff here remade, and the fact that there's other smaller toy companies out there that's making stuff like Delta 17. They're making the O-ring figures. And there's a couple other small toy manufacturers out there right now that are making the O-ring style G.I. Joe figures. And I'm all in on those. I'm going to start purchasing those. I'm going to get away from purchasing classifieds for a while, and I'm going to start getting into that stuff. I also want to start collecting some of the Stan Solo stuff. I've been wanting to get that ever since it started coming out, and I just haven't been able to afford to get it because there's so much to buy right now that there's so much good stuff. But I really think the Stan Solo stuff is some of the best out there for new Star Wars. Well, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I just hit over 1,000 subscribers, so stay tuned and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.